realistically, tomorrow night is our best opportunity to secure silverware for this season. I think Pochettino has really emphasized the importance of the Carabao Cup, but we have to do one thing that we have been unable to do throughout this entire month, and that is score a goal. Goals. Putting the ball in the back of the net. And tomorrow, kind of shamefully, this is our final opportunity of this month to record 1 goal scored. That is absolutely mad. The pressure just got real, my friends, and in today's preview, I'll be discussing team news, match build-up, press conference, predicted lineup predictions, and all that good stuff. So hit that like button, share your thoughts and opinions, and don't forget to watch my 2 big breakdowns on what went wrong versus Aston Villa, and I discuss the 3 key areas in which Chelsea are failing at this point in time. It's not all Pochettino, it is collective failure across the organisation. So make sure you guys check today's video out. Now for the match build up, I think that it's kind of interesting that for our next 2 games, we're playing against Brighton and then Fulham afterwards, because these are 2 teams that we beat during this summer's pre-season. We beat Brighton 4-3, we beat Fulham 2-0, and these were some of our best footballing performances that we've seen under Pochettino, and obviously we know it's pre-season. But as you guys are seeing with the lineup on screen, this is how we fielded up against Brighton in pre-season. And when I'm seeing things like left backs, and the funny thing is we're using 2 left backs in the team together. Against Aston Villa, I saw 3 left backs on the bench. So it's kind of funny how we've kind of just fallen off after like only a few months. But listen, I'm not here to say that by bringing on a left back, you're destined to win every single game. But my thing is that after seeing the weak connective play down the left hand side for the past 3-4 games right now, it's not making any sense to me after seeing the benefits that we receive from having a fullback that can make those overlaps out wide on the left hand side, which really helps give us an additional attacking offensive player in the final third, which allowed us to have another player between the lines, which allowed us then to have someone who can play closer to Nico Jackson. And is it any surprise in that game, we saw our attacking mid-scorer in Nkunku. We saw Nicholas Jackson score a goal too, and Mudryk and Jackson combined beautifully to score that amazing Mudryk goal against Brighton. And I kind of feel like these types of connections, these give and goes, and I feel like since Pochettino's focus on balanced football, it has come at the cost of having dangerous final third play. That Chelsea team I saw in pre-season, I don't feel like it's become a thing of yesterday. I don't think it's extinct. I think it can come back to life again, but I really feel like it comes down to Pochettino now, allowing us to have more additional offensive support, and I think having a left back is the key to allowing us to attack more. So that's my build up. Anyway, my friends, moving on now to team news. Now there's nothing really exciting other than the fact that both Khans and Badiashile are doing partial team training. Now this is positive news because it tells us that as they continue to train with the team, hopefully they should be back in some capacity sometime near the end of October. Other than that, my friends, it's the same old story for everyone else as other players continue their personal rehab programs. Let's dissect a very comprehensive press conference today for Mauricio Pochettino. To start with things, we learned that Armando Broja won't be starting the game against Brighton tomorrow, which makes a lot of sense. Number 1, Nico Jackson is suspended for our league game against Fulham. Clearly he will play against Brighton tomorrow. And number 2, Broja has only now returned back. I think he'll play like 20 to 30 minutes per game for the next few games just to come back good, because he can't break down again. Or maybe Pochettino may be thinking, I want this guy ready at least for Fulham on the 2nd of October. Now, it seems like we are getting some answers behind why Pochettino has decided to use certain tactical choices that have kind of confused us throughout the start of the season. And let's start with Pochettino's comments on Ben Chilwell. Now, he did reveal that Ben has been out the team due to Cole's form and left wingers also finding their form. Pochettino revealed that you get a nice balance by having Levi Colwill playing as a left back, especially in the build-up phase, and that's exactly why Pochettino is using Colwill at left back. He's using Colwill at left back over Maatsen, Cucurella and Ben Chilwell, 3 customary left backs. Regardless, Pochettino revealed that he wasn't using Ben in his best position, playing him as a left winger during the start of the season. But again, once a winger's found form, then he found himself on the bench. And I'm not too sure, my guys. For my personal opinions, I understand balance, but I'm not seeing the utility of balance when it means that we don't have that balance in the final thirds. Poch said this himself. When you have an offensive player in front sometimes, you don't need a fullback that can go on the attack. It's all a question of balance, and I'm happy with Levi because he provides very good things, and at the moment, because always in football things can change, we are happy with him playing there. Now, it's nice that he gave us some context and an explanation behind this decision, but again, I don't see the utility behind this decision. I think that Corwell could really showcase his passing range for our team if he played in defense like he was doing during pre-season, showing off that exact passing range. I understand the need for balance if you're playing against maybe like Tottenham or Arsenal or Man City, but for any team underneath them, those types of levels, it just doesn't make any sense in my personal opinion, and I've discussed that in enough videos. Still, we learned why Pochettino is turning towards Thiago Silva. Now, obviously, the experience you get from Silva obviously helps, but Pochettino stressed that you want to have a very strong defensive line, and data-wise, statistically, we have one of the best defenses in the league. And, you know, I respect that, but again, as I've been saying, I feel like we are prioritizing not conceding goals compared to scoring goals in the final third, and this is why we're going into this whole month without scoring a single goal, and it's starting to really feel like this is the game now where tough decisions have to be made. And as I've been stressing, especially taking inspiration from our pre-season form, I do not think we are good enough right now due to the experience we have, where we can dominate games with 60+% possession, where we can win games 2-3-0, where we can keep clean sheets. We have to decide what benefits the players, and right now I feel like we are encouraging this lack of confidence in the final third, hence why we're seeing so much bad decision making across every player in the final third. When your team's suffering like that, I feel like it's time now to loosen the shackles a bit, and these guys need to not feel the pressure of making mistakes, in my opinion. And to end things quickly, now there was some discourse going on Twitter today, and that was due to Pochettino's comments on Egbali and the owners and others coming into the dressing room after games. Now, Poch said he likes when owners come in. It's not the first time they've come in throughout the season to share their thoughts with the players. Any one of the directors, you know, Paul, Stewart, even Egbali, Tobali, they've come in during the season, and he's kind of used to owners coming into the dressing room after games throughout his career, which communicates that this isn't like an unnatural thing. It's kind of normal. I understand when you're losing that you can kind of like hyperfixate on details like this, but I like how Poch addressed things because I think he's trying to communicate the normalcy behind how this is a normal part of the game and that this doesn't faze him, and it says nothing about his management or pressure towards the team. So again, my friends, that is the important part in the press conference today. Right now, let's move on to discussing my predicted lineup for tomorrow. And as I've been alluding to throughout this video, I think tomorrow is the final chance for Pochettino to go back to the positive things he was showing us during this summer's pre-season. I think now when you have Brighton and then Fulham before the big games come throughout October, this is the moment you take advantage of right now to get the team's confidence in the final third up. And I feel like if we see the same management decisions that are focusing on balance way more than they should, in my personal opinion, that's really going to hurt us a lot. And you know what? It would be very interesting to compare pre-season's game versus Brighton against tomorrow's game if Pochettino was to maintain how we play, but hopefully that won't be the case, my friends. It's time to be aggressive in our pursuit of goals. So as you're seeing with my lineup, I've got Nico Jackson up front. I've got Mudryk, Cole Palmer at 10 and Madueke on the right hand side. I've gone for Caicedo and Ugo. I've gone for Ben, Coral, Disasi, Matson and Petrovic in goal. Now to start going from the back to the front, I want to see what Petrovic can offer, and I think that this is a great opportunity to see what he can do, because again, I don't want to wait for him to get like maybe an FA Cup game in January to see what he can do. He's been with us for a while, and I think that tomorrow is a great chance for him to show what he's about. And listen, I know that Sanchez is in great form, He really is, but I think he could save that form for Fulham, and it shouldn't necessarily hurt our defence. In defence, I'm taking some risks here. Now, we know that Ben is definitely starting tomorrow. Pochettino did confirm this. In defence, I've gone for Cole. I've gone for Disasi, just so Silva can be rested for Fulham. I've gone for Ian Maatsen, and obviously with Maatsen, I feel like this will be the wild card that I'm not even expecting to see play. But we need some technical capacity out wide on the right hand side. You know, Pochettino has a reliance on fullbacks getting forward, especially down the right. And if you are a right back for us, you have to be comfortable on the ball. You have to be able to like overlap, underlap, and receive under pressure and carry us forward. And you know, I don't think Disasi's a guy I want to turn to. I thought he was kind of mids against Aston Villa. Cucurella, could he play? It wouldn't surprise me, but I think after seeing Maatsen playing a lot of games on the right hand side during pre-season, is it time for him to let him play? Hopefully, because it kind of confuses me. Now in midfield, I've gone for Caicedo and Ugo. I think Caicedo, again, I think if he was signed before pre-season started, he'd be in a lot stronger position right now. He hasn't been dominating games as much. He is getting like brushed off the ball. He is bouncing off of challenges, and he isn't winning all the duels he's committing to. And sometimes he does show a little bit of a sloppy touch. I think that these are the things that will iron out his game straight away. But I'm not going to lie, when I watch certain games too, I do kind of notice that Caicedo wants to try and play a pass to a left back, but it's not there. So it seems like he still has some De Zerbi DNA stuck in him. And I think he needs a little bit more time, but games like this helps him, and like he's playing against his former team, so you have to play him in my opinion. And I think Enzo can get a bit of a rest for now. Poch does trust Ugo, and I think Ugo's like defensive balance and you know how he played against Bournemouth was pretty decent. Now in attack, my friends, obviously Jackson will have to start because he's suspended against Fulham, and I'm hoping that we see the real Nico Jackson come out, because hopefully he's gonna have Cole Palmer as a natural 10 behind him. It's obvious we need a 10. When we beat them in pre-season, we had Carnes playing there, and we had Nkunku, I think, on the left-hand side at the time too. Or was it up front? I can't remember now as I'm recording. But again, it's so obvious that we need that connected presence between the lines, between midfield and attack. And I think then that Jackson's game makes more sense and when he can make those runs on the last line, because he's making them. No one's playing the passes, and it's like, you have to respect the striker that he is. And if you want him to develop to be overall like an all-round striker, it won't happen in 1 month. It will happen over a few seasons. So Cole Palmer, I hope he gets the opportunity to shine. And either side of him, I've gone for Mudryk. If he gets 60 minutes, so be it. But he needs to maintain that confidence he has. We're seeing more and more things come. And I want to see Nico and Jackson combine. And I think if he has a fullback, hopefully in Ben, and a 10, I'm expecting better things to happen in terms of how we translate our attacking moments. And I think Madueke is being rested too, because I think Sterling might be playing up front against Fulham, and I think he was very good against Wimbledon. And again, this is a great opportunity for him to build up some form. So that is my lineup. Share your thoughts and opinions. And now for my match prediction. Now, I remember that some guys in the comments in the last preview actually mentioned the fact that I should stop this segment because we always lose. You're wasting your time and you're actually bad luck at this point. Now, I'm going to say this, yeah. I'm praying. This is the opportunity I've been waiting for, where I see a left back and 10 play in the team together. If I see these things, my friends, which I'm crossing my fingers and feeling optimistic towards, I think something positive can happen against Brighton tomorrow. I really do think so. But it depends on these things I've been discussing throughout the video. And this is like my final straw and chance to hope that Pochettino, after that defeat against Aston Villa, does what is best for this young team. So, I'm Nini FC, this is BlueLionsTV. I'll catch you guys tomorrow with some more videos. Cool.